right, we are live.
Greetings to you. I'm Brother James Muhammad, a student in the ministry of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and your host for this week's segment of Closing the Gap broadcast. We want to welcome all of our viewing and listening audience, those of you who are regular participants in this broadcast, and hopefully there will be some first-time participants that who are participating in this viewing. I want to take the time, my dear brothers and sisters, and all who are listening, to thank all of you out there in our viewing and listening audience for your continued support in my absence. Of course, never absent spiritually, but I was absent physically. And Brother Student Minister Chad and Sister Starla and Sister Anissa and our guest co-host, you all did a magnificent job. But I wanted to thank the audience and thank you all, really. And for those of you who attend regularly, you know we always invoke the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God to whom all praise is due, the Lord of the worlds. We thank Almighty God Allah for his merciful and prophetic intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Fard Muhammad and raising up from our midst his messenger Messiah, the exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, through whom we have been given our beloved and blessed Redeemer, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It is to these men that we are deeply grateful and highly honored for this wonderful privilege to present this platform from which the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as they are given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, can be shared by and through his profound students, of which we have two as our special guests this evening. So in the name of Allah, in the name of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and in the name of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I'd like to greet you with the greeting words of peace and welcome you once again to Closing the Gap broadcast. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you.
Wa alaikum salam.
All praise is due to Allah. Tonight, we are going to be discussing a very, very important subject matter, which is the cornerstone, really, of nation, as marriage is the cornerstone of family, and family is the cornerstone of community. Community is the cornerstone of nation. But it all starts with an initial meeting that we call courtship. Courtship. And what we will be discussing with our esteemed guests is courtship in a righteous environment. Courtship in a righteous environment. Welcome to this broadcast for the first time, our dear sister Angela Muhammad, hailing from the great city of Jacksonville. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Angela.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
And of course, student captain, Brother Fredric Muhammad, a brother whom I have known for many, many years. We're very happy to welcome you to the broadcast. We're going to be discussing the courtship or singles event that's going to be held in Jacksonville, hosted by Mosque number 66, and of course, additional activities and events. I'm going to let them tell you what it is by Allah's grace. But before we bring them on, I want to give an opportunity to give our co-hosts, to whom I am deeply grateful and indebted, my dear brother, my minister, student minister, my counselor. He was making sure that your brother was okay, calling me almost every other day and
Yes.
visiting me and making sure that his little brother was all right and coming along. Student Minister Chad Muhammad, I'd like to extend the microphone to you right now, dear brother.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Student Minister James. It's an honor and a privilege always to be on Closing the Gap. To see your smiling face and just be on our surprise as those that's probably tuning in. I came on here and I seen him on. I said, whoa. And he was dressed up. I said, okay, it's real. So we are thankful to Almighty God, Allah, just for, your health and being strong enough to be on, and everything that you have put in the show. We are thankful to hold it down in your absence, though you're still present even when you're gone.
All praises due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and we're blessed really to have as a guest host. She's been on the program before as a guest host. Our dear sister Charlene Muhammad, the national correspondent. Did I get that right? For the Final Call newspaper. All praises due to Allah, the greatest paper that has ever been published by the greatest publisher, the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan. All praises due to Allah.
That's right.
So the mic is yours, dear sister Charlene.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Yeah, thank you. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. It's an honor to be guest hosting for Sister Starla Muhammad, our managing editor today, who was hard at work for us, I'm sure, no doubt. And I would like to express our second what Brother Student Minister Chad said, Student Minister James, and also welcome to our guest today.
All praises due to Allah. And I don't want to be remiss. I definitely want to extend the greetings and love from my dear sister, Starla Muhammad. She's, as I refer to her, as the star. And if she's listening, then she'll know that nothing has changed.
That's right. That's right.
We call her the star of the show. And I usually make over her when she's on,
That's right.
And that's not going to change. So if you're listening, Sister Starla, consistency is a blessing.
That's right. We love you, Sister Starla.
Yes, we do. We do love you and we miss you. And all praises due to Allah. We extend the greetings to our listening and viewing audience as well as our guests from you of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
All praises due to Allah. So let's get started. I would like to introduce to some of you may know him, introduce to some and present him to others because he's been in the nation for quite some time. He's a student captain in the Nation of Islam, very well trained and a very excellent trainer of men. He hosts from the great city of Jacksonville, Florida. Our dear brother and student captain, Brother Fredric Muhammad. Brother Fredric was born and raised in Brooklyn. He's my homie. I'm from Brooklyn as well.
Wow.
Praise be to Allah. And he moved to Miami, Florida in 1980. And when he moved to Miami, Florida, he rose to the rank of captain, still helping the nation, helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. All praises due to Allah. In 1992, our dear brother moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and became the student captain, working hard to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan build.
Praise be to Allah.
I had the blessing of having him when I was the student minister there in Jacksonville. I was blessed to have him as my captain, and he's still doing a magnificent job. If you ask him about me, he will tell you that I really got on his nerves. I was very I was very, not really, well, maybe, very hard on my brother, but I was hard on captains, because we expected a great deal from our brother, and he did produce. And if I may, Brother Fredric, I remember an incident where it had got to the point where I had gotten on his nerves so much. He said, "Well, what do you want from me? What do you want?" and he said it just like that.
I can't remember, but praise be to Allah.
I remember. All praises due to Allah. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, he said, you don't remember the good that you do. But when you mess up, you do remember the bad. So I do remember, brother. And I would apologize to you if it didn't contribute to making you the staunch, stern, striving FOI student captain that you are. So all praise is due to Allah. Brother Fredric Muhammad. So as a student captain in Jacksonville Mosque number 66, his bio is really, really, really short. It does not speak anywhere near or represent anywhere near the accomplishments that our brother has made as a student captain, as an FOI, and a member of the Nation of Islam, and helper to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praises due to Allah. Our brother owns a business called the Hat Connection. And we're going to be featuring, of course, scrolling or crawling on the screen, hopefully, if we have that information, how you can patronize our brother. He has some beautiful hats. I have a few. I think I have 3 or 4 that I brought from.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yes,
all
sir.
praises due to Allah. So I'm pleased to announce, to introduce and present our dear brother, student captain Fredric Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Fredric.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much.
That's it. A man of few words, but
Amen.
so,
I'm just honored to be here. Make me feel like I'm important. But I'm just so happy to see you, my brother, and brother student minister Chad and student minister James. He's always in my heart. Brother James is a very studious minister.
Yes,
and if you want to build your city up and you need to recruit, and you allow him to teach, and he sure enough will recruit.
yes,
So that's, thank you, brother. And I never was upset with you. I always love you. Yes, sir.
You were upset, just a little frustrated because you wanted to do a good job, and you did do a good job. Praise
yes, sir.
All right, thank you, and welcome to Closing the Gap broadcast.
Yes, sir.
We have joining us also our dear sister Angela Muhammad, again from Mosque number 66 in Jacksonville. And Sister Angela has been a registered member of the Nation of Islam for 24 years now. She is the mother of 5 beautiful children, of which 3 are homeschooled. She is the owner of Surgicare, LLC, and the owner-operator of Unity Bakery. She also works full-time as a medical assistant, personal assistant, and medical scribe for 2 busy neurosurgeons at a local hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. In addition to this, she also works as a CNA, as that certified nurse, or what is that acronym?
Certified nursing assistant.
Certified nursing assistant at an assisted living facility here in Jacksonville, Florida, caring for elderly residents with aspirations of becoming a nurse. She is, how do you say that? Reiki?
Reiki.
Or Reiki 2 practitioner, and you'll need to share with us what exactly that is, as well as a gold seal Dianetics auditor. Sister Angela, along with her staff, have successfully put on 2 single socials in Jacksonville and are in the process of promoting and organizing a 3rd event by request. The spirit behind the single socials originated in the idea of creating an event whereby there is the potential to build more courtships with the ultimate goal of marriage. This being done in an effort to help build and secure our nation through strong, successful marriages. I want to introduce to some and present to others our dear sister, Angela Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Angela.
Wa alaikum salam, family.
All praise due to Allah. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate the invite and thinking of us to come onto the show. So thank you very much, humbly.
Well, the honor, privilege, and the gratitude is ours, dear sister. We're very happy to have you. And now I'd like to turn the show over to our dear brother, esteemed co-host, our student in the ministry and student minister of Muhammad Mosque number 47, brother student minister Chad Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, brother Chad.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, student minister James. So happy, excited, and delighted as for us to be here and to have our guests on. And we're dealing with tonight, family, for those that's tuning in, Jacksonville Single Social. We just want to open up, if we could, to both of yourself, dear sister Angela, and also brother Fredric, if you can tell us about what you got going on in Jacksonville that's coming up, that's so heavy. So you got the believers excited. Some of the people in Tampa are already talking about being there. Yes, they are. I want y'all to know right now, not right now, but right now, that if the believers go up there and they get into courtship, and if they plan on moving somewhere, I will not be signing the transfer letter because I love them that much.
Period.
I'm just kidding. But yes, we would like to just open it up with y'all for right now. If y'all wouldn't mind to tell our listening audience why y'all on here tonight, what do y'all got going on, and that they can look forward to in Jacksonville in the near future.
Yes, sir.
Praise you to
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. And so I'm going to reach out to everybody and let you know how excited we are about the upcoming single social that we're having here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's not just the single social, we're also having a black tie ball. What we have planned for the believers. This is our 3rd event, as Brother James mentioned in the bio. We're planning 4 days of activities. Before we did 3. This time we have 4. It's going to be 4 fun-filled days of continuous activities for the believers. Of course, you can visit our website and see everything that we have planned out. We laid everything out on our website. But this is going to entail beach. We're going to the beach. We're going to be doing competitive sports. I've never done miniature golf, but we have that on the itinerary. I'm looking forward to doing it for the first time. One of the highlights that has always been of the single social is the sunset cruise. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's about an hour and a half on the St. Johns River. We actually go out at a time where you get to see the city, see that downtown Jacksonville. But the beautiful part is they take you to an area where they just stop you and you get an opportunity to see the sunset. And it's absolutely beautiful. Wow. It's always been a highlight. And very popular attraction that we have as part of the single social. Along with that, student minister Willie Muhammad from
That's right.
number 46 in New Orleans will be present to deliver his courtship workshop.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. This brother right here. This is the second time that we've invited him into the city to do the courtship workshop. It's an interactive, very fun, informative workshop where he's giving the tools, the information that we need. Even if you're not ready for courtship right now, you can get the tools that you'll need to utilize when that time comes, inshallah. And I mean, I tell people when I'm talking to them about it and letting them know, it's not just that. Of course, we would love for the believers to find their mate or, go into courtship while we're here, but it's bigger than that. And it's the believers coming together and connecting and building an affinity with one another and socializing with one another, getting to know people that you've never met before. Every event that I've had, I go away knowing someone that I've never met and still in contact with them to this day. It connects us as a community. And I didn't know that's what was going to happen. But I saw it as we were putting these on. I was like, wow, this is really beautiful because we're building community as well. We're connecting as believers where we may not have been able to do this had we not put on something like this. So it's really going to be a fun-filled weekend. And we're planning on just having a wonderful time together. So we need everybody to go ahead and register, get excited about it, and plan on being in Jacksonville.
Oh, praise.
Wow. That sounds wonderful. That's a getaway and escape. I mean, for the singles. And one of the things when I got a chance and me and my wife was talking, one of the things that she pointed out and that she really appreciated is the length of time because, like how you said, from Thursday all the way through Sunday, really give them time to process it, to get into it. I mean, y'all have it planned out day by day as something to do. It's really a getaway. It's a social event. So kudos for y'all, for making that happen and just, representing and doing it right. Praise. Thank you for sharing that. Praise. Right.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a quick question. Okay. I didn't know if it could be heard. What advice would you give to those attending for the first time?
So what I would say is, number one, be very, very excited. Number two, don't set expectations. Don't come into this thinking that it's going to happen. You don't want to set yourself up to be disappointed. So if it happens, that's absolutely beautiful. And it has happened where courtships have come out of these events. If it does happen that way, praise be to Allah. But I want people to just be in the frame of mind of coming to have a really good time, socializing with other singles, getting the tools, the knowledge, the information that we need when we get ready to go in a courtship. I'm having people who are actually already in courtships, so I'm not limiting it. If you're in a courtship, you are allowed to come. I have a group they're in courtship. They want to come and they want to go through the workshop with Minister Willie because they want to make sure that they're doing the courtship correctly. So we're not limiting it to just people who you may want to get into a court. I'm not even limited to people who ain't ready for a courtship. If you're not ready yet, you can come and get the information that you need so that you will be ready. So just be your authentic self. Come just being prepared to have a wonderful, magnificent time with the believers. When I say that we have this laid out, how it's going to be really nice. And I know Brother Fred is going to talk about the dance that we're planning. We are really planning something very spectacular. Be yourself. Come relax. Come understanding that you're going to be in an environment with family. We are going to treat you like family. The believers in Jacksonville are going to welcome you here, and we're going to embrace and love on you. And I hope y'all don't mind that, but that's what y'all going to get. But just be prepared to have a wonderful, magnificent time amongst the believers. And, inshallah, you may meet that person that you're looking for.
Right.
Thank you, sister.
Praise be to Allah. And you talked about as far as, the encouragement of those, coming. I want to line this question up with you, Brother Fredric, being a student captain. How do you inspire the brothers, to qualify themselves to courtship, and also inspire or encourage the brothers to seek courtship with the goal of being married? What are some of the process the ways that you go about doing that, dear brother?
For once of all, from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. First of all, let me say, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, that Muhammad is a servant and messenger. And I'd like to thank y'all for having me here. And to answer your question, from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and as it's been taught to us now by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, is that as a student captain, and you have people come in, we teach the brothers in our FOI class, and we can share this, right, student ministers? We share what we do in our FOI class, right, that you have to get yourself economical ready, financial ready, and you got to prepare yourself for marriage. So that's a system that we use to get the brothers ready as they come in. And some brothers are really physically, financially ready, but still mentally ready. You have to be mentally ready as well. And that comes from learning that, to have a mate, that's like part of your faith. That's your completion, and especially if you are FOI and you got the most beautiful woman in the world, and she's the MGT, what better that you can, what better you can have? So you get yourself physically, financially ready, but you get yourself mentally ready, because taking on the responsibility of MGT, you got to be ready for that.
Right.
So, that's all, that's what we do in our class as a captain.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, sir. Praise be to Allah. Sister Charlene.
Yes. In what ways would you say this differs from rituals? Of course, obviously coordinated by members of the nation. What stands out in your event?
You kind of broke up a little bit, Betsy.
Okay, I said what stands out in your. No, am I coming through better now?
I couldn't hear you. Did someone?
We can hear you at the end. Try it again, dear sister.
I said, what stands about your type?
I can't hear.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty badly, Sister Charlene.
Okay.
Okay. I typed it.
Okay. Let's see that. Let's see if we can. Okay. Hold on one second. Let's see if we can get it. Okay. It's what stands out about your social event? All right. There we go.
What stands out about our social event? I don't know. I think I would have to say there's a portion of my event where the believers come back to my house. Mm-hmm. The purpose behind that was, how comfortable people are when they're at home. They just, you feel you can kind of let your hair down. You can just be yourself and be in a cozy environment. And so on Friday night, after all of the activities that we have that day, we come back to my house. We socialize here. We play games.
Mhm.
The last the last event that we had a game that we were playing. Student Minister Willie was leading it, and the brothers won. It was friendly competition, brothers against the sisters, and the brothers won. They the winning team, and he won't let me lay that down. But it was just a very fun atmosphere, and it's home. I mean, home is so comforting, and I noticed how the believers responded to being welcomed into a believer's home. And so I don't know if any other events do that, but I just when I thought about it, I was like, that's going to give a whole different environment for us to be in, to kind of just be ourselves and relax. And it's really like you're with family. It's not like we don't know each other. It's like when I say that we were here to we didn't, I was about to get pillows and blankets for everybody. When you're amongst Muslims, when you're among true believers, because you don't want to leave. And that's exactly how we were. The spirit,
Well
the energy, it was just amazing. And I had people, communicate to me how much they felt rejuvenated. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we realize that, or we don't reflect on that, how much when we are together as believers with the same spirit, the same energy, how we re-energize each other. We the spirit of the believers together, it's amazing. And so that's what it was. I don't know if anybody else has that type of setting going on, but it was some careful thought behind that, and the possible results that it would produce of being in a very relaxed home environment of another believer. And so, that's definitely on the agenda. So,
praise be to Allah.
Praise
Brother
Allah.
Fredric, would you like to comment also? What can we anticipate? What some of the highlights we look forward to in Jacksonville?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. First, I'd like to say this. Our dear sister Angela, she put on the event twice, and a brother called me, and he said, "Brother, how did the event go?" And I said, "Well, brother, I didn't participate but I did come to Sister Angela's house, to check up on everybody. I came in and everybody was fun." And he said, the brother told me, he said, "Brother Fredric," he said, "that sister put on something that's so important for the nation." He said, "What you need to do, brother, you need to reach out to her and tell her whatever she needs. If she ever does it again, whatever she needs, offer your help." And I did. I called sister. I said, "Sister, are you going to do this again?" I said, "Whatever happens, just count me in. I'm going to do everything I can to help you do this single event." So at this time, we was doing a fundraiser. We're doing a fundraiser for the mosque. And I have a beautiful event committee. And Sister Angela, she's on that event committee. And I have I got the student minister Nolan's wife, Sister Molly, Sister Tashana, our student Vanguard captain. I have Sister Tia, a beautiful sister, and Brother Jameson and Sister Angela. These are the event committee. So we was doing an event that we're doing a fundraiser to raise funds for the mosque, because we want to get a building that can host all these people that we're trying to get, all our brothers and sisters. So they agreed that we need to do it, and they a couple of months ahead. You know me, I'm fast, Brother James. No, man, I put on an event in a week. But she said, "No, let's do it at the month of September." And then I said, "Well, okay." And then she said, "Well, we doing our event in September the 26th." And so we looked, and I said, "Well, let's do this black tie ball, and that's going to give the singles another opportunity to have fun. And it's not just only for believers. This event is for members of the nation, family and friends, guests and visitors. At the same time, all the single people can come and socialize with everyone and bring their family and friends. So we put it on a black tie event, man, where you're going to dress up, Brother James, and Brother James could come on out and do that 6-step with his wife, and Brother Chad, you can come on and do that disco hustle. But we putting on a black tie event that's really classy. And I think, man, this is going to be a attraction for the singles, because, you know, when you coming out to some events, entertainment is such a good thing, and it allows you to socialize with other people.
Right.
So that's what we doing. And man, I tell you, I'm just so excited. To be able to have that for the single brothers and sisters and all their friends and families and all our guests and all of the married couples, you know. And I just want to say this: imagine when they see married couples dancing with their wives having a good time. You trying to, man, you get in a courtship, and you know, you just be so, you know, man, I want to do this with my wife. So that's what that is, Brother Student Minister Chad.
Praise.
There you go. That black tie event.
That's right. Wait. Now, is Sister Angela, you DJing there? What you doing that night?
I'm thinking about it, Brother Chad. I know I got it in me.
That's right. Hey, look, I don't witness it before. So I remember last time we was in Jacksonville. So hey,
yes, sir.
You might have to wear many hats. You might have to, you know, go on over.
Oh, we're gonna have a DJ. You're gonna have food. The VIP, you're going to be treated nice, and I think this they're going to have something where they and I want to say this, Brother Chad. A lot of people don't understand how you can come to an event and have a good time, and we're going to serve mocktail drinks, non-alcohol, no drugs,
right,
just a good time with virgin daiquiris, and just everybody. You know, when people experience that, it's like, man, that's another thing that we can share with the singles, guests, families, and all our friends. So I just wanted to add that.
That sounds wonderful.
All praises due to Allah.
Well put together. Well, we got some questions coming in from the audience. I just post up from our dear brother Tony from our regional headquarters. He asked. He said, Assalamu alaikum. I attended last year's workshop through Zoom. It was awesome. If you can, please expound why it is vitally important to take time to learn about ourselves, what we need and what we want as FOI and MGT in order to know what to look for in a potential husband or wife.
You know, I like to start off from the FOI point.
Come on.
Okay. You know, I want to say this, and we talked about it before. A lot of the FOI, they're very humble. You know, they come into the nation, and they really want to meet a sister. They really want to meet a sister that, you know, represent what they represent. But a lot of times they don't know how to go about it. So, you know, they'll come to me and say, brother Captain, man, I seen a sister, and man, brother, what I do? Now, you know me, I'm like from the old school. I ain't young as Brother James, you know, and I like, listen, man, go and ask her, brother, ask her name. But if you come to the single social, Brother Student Minister Willie, he's going to teach y'all brothers how to socialize, how to interact with someone. And that's so important, you know, because a lot of us, you know, you know, the MGT could be you know, when you see an MGT, boy, you be looking like, man, this a goddess, and you be like, man, I don't know what to say, but you know, you learn at these events, and then you know, I tell the brothers, man, this is something good for you. You know, this is something good for you to learn. It don't matter how young or how old, you get to learn how to interact with our sister. And I know Sister Angela can talk about it from the MGT or the sister point of view.
Praise be to Allah. Please do this, sister, from the sister point.
Yes, sir. So praise be to Allah.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I want to say that being alone is not the same as being lonesome or lonely.
Mhm.
I think sometimes we connect the two, but it's not the same thing. If you think about it and you go back to how the originator was alone for how many trillions of years, studying himself, seeing those intricate parts and details of himself, you know, studying, seeing what he had in him.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do the same thing.
Come on.
You know, so it's through that study that we can that we're able to identify what it is that we need in a mate.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to think that you know, going years is I mean, because I think sometimes we
Mhm.
feel rushed.
Mhm.
Like we have to be, you know, married, and you know, in a certain period of time, or you're going to be looked at if you're not, or undesirable if you haven't been married. I don't want people to think of it that way. I want us to look at the time that we have when we're alone as a blessing. It's a
Right.
time for us to really take
Mhm.
that opportunity to study ourselves, to learn more about ourselves, those beautiful gifts and qualities that Allah has deposited into each one of us, those specific characteristic traits that we all have, attributes of Allah that we have individually. Study those, look at them, you know, work on perfecting them, work on, you know, growing in those areas. Like for myself, I was married, my first marriage, I was with that brother for a long time. I'm gonna give myself an example. And sometimes we can lose ourselves in the marriage. And then you can take that time when you're alone to reconnect to who you are, reconnect to God. Use that time for that. Connecting to God, connecting to who you are, you know, your authentic self, loving you. Work on loving you, because you cannot extend anything to anybody else that you don't already have within yourself. I can't love anybody else any more than what I already have in me. So that's why it's really important for us to study ourselves, know who we are, and then you know who you're going to be to somebody else, you know. So that's my answer. It's just, you know, it's I think it's vitally important to take
That's
that
right.
time. Don't
That's
look at it like
Mhm.
it's a bad thing to take time for yourself. It's
Mhm.
not. That is I think it makes it a necessity, honestly,
Yes.
because you can get that time to reconnect with yourself. So I don't know. I just think it's a good opportunity. So I think it may be a necessity, actually. Now that I think about it, now that I'm
That's
talking, I
right.
think it's a necessity.
That's right. Absolutely. The cornerstone of our nation. That's right. Praise be to Allah. Good to have you back, Sister Charlene. I know
Yeah.
our was
Thank
having some
you.
technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Woo!
Very good.
Good. Because I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I may, and I'm enjoying the dialogue. What was it that actually crystallized for you, sister, to make you say, "I'm going to do this"? Were you looking at the landscape, and you know, was it anything, maybe sisters or brothers coming to you, or did you just
That's a
have a
beautiful
spark?
question. That's a
Praise be to Allah.
beautiful question.
Mhm.
So it was. I haven't really been single that long, so it was kind of twofold. I went to a singles event, and Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia, who was just on the show, I love the both of them, know them very well. I love them. And they put on a beautiful event in Miami. That was my first singles event. And I remember speaking to Brother Marcus, and I was asking him, you know, he and Sister Cecilia, you know, how often do we do these events? And he was saying once a year. And so I was like, oh, wow. I said, you know, so we got once a year to kind of come together as believers and potentially come across our mate. I said, you know, Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. So it's got to add up. So I, in my mind, it was like, we need more opportunities like this. And it shouldn't be on Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia to do for us as singles what we can do for ourselves. So I just, you know, it was in my mind. Then, as you said, Sister Charlene, I was hearing a lot of moaning and groaning. And I had to see if it was all together what I was hearing. And it really was. I mean, it's hard out here for singles. It really is. It's very difficult to be a single Muslim in Satan's world. And so there's it's multifaceted, the challenges that we face of trying to connect to one another. And I know that, you know, when I was listening to some of my sisters, with not thinking self-serving in this, because I actually haven't participated in the events, when I just kind of sit back and I make sure everything goes the way that it needs to go. But I'm listening to my sisters and I'm like, no, no, we got to do something. And I'm not saying that the single social is the cure all for the challenges that we face as singles in the nation, but it was something.
Wow.
It was something. And so, I was motivated by that, you know, and just like Allah, I was like, okay, let me try to pull like minds in here. I need some help here. And when I say these sisters were folding in, bam, 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 because there is no way for you to do something like this alone.
Right.
You have to have help. You have to have a strong support system. You have to have like-minded people. You have to have believers that are around you with the same goal in mind. And the sisters that Allah has blessed to be around me, and even, and you know, I had brothers as well, but those believers, they see the importance of this, and they take it very seriously. And they want to see this being a perpetual thing where it continues on and on and on. And so that's what it was. It was a lot of, you know, I don't want to say a little bit of frustration, you know, because of the multiple challenges that we face as singles, and trying to figure out how can we resolve this issue.
Right.
And so you know, the way my mind is, like, I hear something, okay, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, is that actually started it, was just listening to believers, hearing Brother Marcus, what he said, and trying to add that up to make it make sense in my mind, and saying, okay, I appreciate Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia, what they do. They are phenomenal, but it shouldn't be on them just to do everything. When we as singles, we know we want to change our condition.
Right.
And Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change themselves.
That's right.
So we need to make that change. We need to change that. And so that's the frame of mind behind it.
Thank you. That is beautiful.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Wonderful.
You know, I want to add something to that, with to your question to Sister Angela, if you don't mind, that I think it should be important. Like, you know, being Sister Angela, she did this 2 times, and when a brother came to me and asked me to help, I don't know what she was going through, but as I talk to people, brothers, you know, certain brothers that went to different events, and then I asked Sister Angela, I said, Sister Angela, how many people showed up to the last event? And she said 30. And I said, wow, that seemed like a very low number, but she said it was higher than what it was. So, and so I said to myself, I said, you know why this is important is because brothers want to meet their sister, and sister want to meet brothers. And you just got to look at it. We have at least 2 events every year. Savior's Day and the National Training. And 9 times out of 10, they got beautiful events at Savior's Day. And when we get there, we be so, we be so active in everything. So we be working. So brothers, I'm just coming from brothers want to meet the sisters, and I'm pretty sure the sisters want to meet the brothers. So when they putting on these single socials, they just had one in Washington. When they put these single socials, this is an opportunity that everybody single can come and interact with your brother and sister and learn. And the potential that you probably will meet you or your wife or your husband. But just think the opportunity. We don't go to clubs. We don't go to bars. You know what I'm saying? You know, where the things that people do to meet other women. And we respectable, we don't, see a girl and, hey baby, how you doing? We don't do that. We try to be modest as we can. So what place that you can do better than come to a social single on a city near you? And I just wanted to add that to with sister. And that's why I said to myself, man, whatever I can do, Sister Angela, to help you. I call in every brother that's single, I call the captains. I said, tell the brothers, come on out, because I'm going to say this point, and I'm going to say this. Brother Mark, I'm going to say his name. He said, well, brother, man, the last time we came over here, it was more sisters than it was brothers. And then if it's like that, it stops the I want to come, but it don't be no brothers come. Then the brothers say, I want to come, but it don't be no sisters. So we got to change that. We got to change that thought so that everybody could come and have a good time and learn how to do this. So I wanted to add that. I hope I did something to add to that.
Absolutely.
Oh, I have a follow-up question. That was great. I have a follow-up question, if I may.
Go ahead, sister.
Yes, ma'am.
What you pointed out, brother, I think about the microcosm, right? Because we're not immune to what's happening in the broader society, and there is an outnumbering of the men, if you will, like the men, not the males.
Right.
And so that's a very significant point that you make there. And so how is that challenge overcome?
Who, man, Sister Angela. I'm just a brother trying to fit in to help Sister Angela. When she told me, she said, Brother Fredric, and can I say this, Sister Angela? Can I say this? Okay, she said, Brother Fredric, I'm a little nervous. And I'm saying, what? It's more brothers registered than sisters. I'm saying, oh, Lord have mercy. So, Sister Angela, it is a challenge to get people, especially if you just in the 7 region. In the 7 region alone, all the single people here, this is driving distance. We have people that's coming from LA, Mississippi, I think.
All right, LA.
So you got people coming here to our region. Right. And then all the brothers and sisters in the regions that's single, you driving distance. Right. You should come and meet the brothers and sisters right here in your region. And then you can, I can tell you, numbers excites people. I'm gonna be real. If brothers come and say, man, I came to the social single, man, there was so many beautiful MGTs, man. Brother, man, this is the place to be. Now, we're not trying to be vulgar, but that's excitement. You don't want to come to a place where it's 25 brothers and 5 sisters, or 25 sisters and 5 brothers. We don't want to do that. Am I right, Sister Angela?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's a balance, the mizan and everything, right? We need that balance.
Yes, come on, sis.
Hello.
Praise be
So,
to Allah.
what I would say is, I don't, just in my conversation with multiple people, I'm finding a common denominator here that's in play. And a lot of it is fear. And what, you know, and we know what fear, that's false evidence.
That's right. Appearing real.
Real.
That's right.
So we have to overcome this fear factor that has crept in and is overtaking. And we know what fear does. Fear will keep you stagnant. You can't move. You know, it stops you from forward motion. That's not what we need. We don't need forward motion stopped in the nation. We need to be moving forward. So we can't let fear rule us and stop us from doing what we need to do to secure our nation. So I think once we really address those issues, I pray that Student Minister Willie hears this broadcast and he understands that this is a real, like I said, this is a real problem that needs real solutions. And however it is that we can address those things that are obstacles that are interfering with us moving like we should, we got to come up with some viable solutions to try to rectify this. I know that the nation will never fall again, but I would love to see, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, let's not forget him, not forget what he desires for us, not forget what he has instructed us. You know, I mean, when that man speaks, I don't even look at it as it's optional. It's instructional. You move. You move. What he says do, we do. If he says that we need to set up social settings where singles can come together and meet in a chaperoned environment where it's safe, it's secure, it's doesn't degenerate into vile type of behaviors and everything. He says we need to do it. That's not optional. That's instructional. Do it. Move. You know, and that's how my mind is. That's how my mind is. So we have to get past those things that are actually stopping us from moving forward. And unfortunately, fear, from what I'm hearing, even though people may not admit that, that's what it is.
Now, speaking of challenges like that, I wanted to share something from one of the listener audience, also a question she had. And, you know, I can only imagine, now we're talking about the percentage between male and female, but also the age gap, you know. So one of the questions to ask also is, she said, Assalamu alaikum, how would you encourage the older believers to get up and participate? Because I only can imagine sometimes that you would have things like that, even with, like I said, the difference between male and female, but sometimes maybe the age gap. So if you got a lot of the older ones, where a few younger, or vice versa, or something like that. But a sister or a brother that's kind of, as someone would say, you know, got a little age on them, how could we encourage them to also get up and participate?
I would say if your desire is marriage, you're still breathing. Don't give up.
That's right.
I don't, you know, your age. I mean, we've had older believers attend our events and had a wonderful time. If that's your desire, that desire is going to fuel your will, feed it, you know, to make happen and bring into fruition what it is you desire. I would say if you are, and that's what you want, don't let age stop you from going after what it is that you desire. You know, if you're still living, you're breathing, it's not too late. And I think, you know, I'll give myself as an example. I was done with schooling. I was done. I was like, I'm not going back. I'm at an age right now. I've done enough schooling. I don't want to do anymore. But the more I was living and doing,
Mm.
I saw, studying myself. I was like, okay, I think this is something I really want. I think I want to do this. And even though I'm at the age that I'm at, I went and re-enrolled in school. And what I'm hearing people tell me is they're telling me, Angela, you're not too old. You're never too old. You keep going. You have it in you. You have the will to do this. You have the will to make this happen. You have the will to make this happen. Go for it. I'm telling you all the same thing. Go for it. If you want to be married, come to this single social. You, like I said, you never know what may happen. Those believers who came across other believers when they were here, I know they didn't know that was going to happen, but it happened. It happened, and they ended up in courtships. So I would say, just move out on faith. That's one of the biggest things too, is that this is a faith move. Because we don't know, but it could happen. It very well could happen. I was speaking to Brother Tony on the show the other day, and that's one of the things that I shared with him as to why I felt that the single social was a success. Yes, we had courtships that came out of the single social. That's beautiful. I love that. That's what I want. But it was a success because every one of those believers that showed up stepped out on faith.
Wow.
That's success. That's success. So it was beautiful.
All praises due to Allah.
All praises due to Allah.
If I may, Brother Chad, Sister Charlene, I wanted to ask both of you, Brother Fredric and Sister Angela, are these single socials open to the public? Non-registered, non-processing brothers and sisters?
Okay, so the single social is not.
Okay.
It is only open to registered, active,
very good,
believers, FOI and MGT.
Right.
That part.
And no processing.
Right.
If you're processing, you have to be registered. That question had came up, and I had to verify that. And if you're processing, you can't. You gotta be registered to manage the courtship with a FOI MGT.
Praise be to God. That make a lot of sense. It's different from like a marriage retreat. Everybody married, they're already together, but
right.
Encourage being equally yoked spiritually.
Right.
You most definitely want the best for the FOI and the best for the MGT, and that's each other.
That's right.
Always protecting.
The black tie ball is that open to the public?
That's open to everyone.
Okay.
That's that's a fundraiser, and it's an activity. It's a fundraiser activity, and it's an extra attraction for the singles. And it's also a good opportunity that when you see people socializing in what you could say, I'm looking for the right word, Sister Angela. When you have a multitude of different people doing what you say righteous activities, right?
Yes,
and socializing in a righteous manner,
right.
It shows moral character to everyone, especially when you're trying to be a couple. And then if you notice, if you see married, like our student regional minister, when he comes to events and they playing music, him and his wife, man, they just take over the floor. I like, God, man, they just have a good time, man, and it's just so loving. It's like, man, I want to do this with my wife. If I get married, I want to do this. I want to enjoy. And people looking at that and they saying, man, and then the opportunity of dancing with other people that you're not married, but you are dancing in a righteous manner, your lecture slides and different things. And it shows people like, man, you can have a good time instead of, you know, backing it up and all that they be doing all over social media. You know,
That's right.
so this here, and the key thing is a fundraiser for the
Yes.
mosque
Right.
so
Come
that
on.
we can get a building.
Right.
What
Right.
wonderful thing that you can pay to help out for someone to get a building to kind of civilize the uncivilized.
That's right. Doing it in a righteous way, having fun, working
Right.
change. Right?
Yes,
Praise
absolutely.
be to Allah.
Wow.
Muslims do have fun.
That's right.
Muslims do
Right. Have
have
fun.
Absolutely.
That's
Whether they old or young,
fun.
right.
they can have fun.
Facts.
And Brother Fredric, say older.
Older.
That's right.
You don't
And they're
subscribe.
not really older. They same thing as us. Me and
Wow.
Brother James, we the same. You know, he just looked younger than me.
Oh, man. Praise be to Allah. Now, when it comes to these single socials, what would you say? How often should we have them? Like if you talking about, you know, per city, the region, or however is going on, how often would you say it'll be a good and an orderly fashion of having single social?
Right. Right. So that question was, posed to us, that because we did 2 last year. We did one in August, and then we had such great feedback that we came right back around and did one in December. We did them that close. We didn't want to do one and interfere with Savior's Day, with the believers traveling and, of course, the financial obligations for securing hotels and all of that, the traveling with Savior's Day. So we pushed it out. So with our single social, when I got with the sisters, one of the things I told them is I didn't want it to be a financial burden on the believers. I didn't want them to have to pay too much. I wanted to make it very fun and very fulfilling for them, but without a lot of having to pay a lot of money. So with that said, if you're having multiple, you have to factor that in, that it's going to be a cost. So I didn't want to do too many to overburden the believers with trying to travel in and what have you. But it was suggested to me quarterly.
Praise be to Allah. That sounds good. All right. Well, that's good. We appreciate this. This is very informative.
Praise to Allah.
Very, very good. All right. Sister Charlene, any other questions at this time?
I would like for them to, either of them, to speak about what is actually the courtship process in the Nation of Islam for those who are tuning in that may not be aware.
Okay, I'll go first.
Go ahead, sister.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. The courtship process is the process whereby you begin I call it like a discovery of a potential life partner, spouse, mate. The process is the brother would contact the sister's captain and notify of his interest. Courtship papers are submitted. The sister, through her captain, will receive the papers and that she can decide whether she wants to move forward with the courtship or if she doesn't. If she does accept, then the courtship begins. Phone numbers are exchanged. The dialogue begins. Hopefully the questions begin. The questions. All them questions. It's a lot of questions.
That's right. You're on a quest. It gotta be.
Taking the court.
For discovery.
That's
So
right.
all of those questions that need to be asked begin at that time to see if the two are compatible enough to move forward with marriage. And so that's why when I'm saying and emphasizing questions, it's because you can't really find out about someone unless some people look at it like it's interrogation. They don't want to be questioned. But listen.
Beware of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Go
else
beneath
will
the
you
surface.
know?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Our lessons teach us ask questions and learn all
All
about
of
you.
that.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
That's
got
Yeah.
to ask questions. So
right.
don't be fearful of, asking questions. If someone does not want to be questioned, then that's suspect. So, but anybody who doesn't have anything to hide, they're not going to want to be questioned. They're going to want to lay it out. I want you to know about me. I want you to know I got this going on. I want you to know this was my past. This is what happened. This was my marriage. This is why I ended. Everything that you need to know. Because ultimately, the way I think is, if I withhold information from you, then I'm kind of being deceitful and making that choice for you. So you're going to make a choice based off of inadequate information. I want you to make an intelligent, informed decision based on having sufficient data from me for your life. I want you to have that. So I'm going to give you whatever you want. So don't be fearful of asking questions. Don't be fearful of having to answer them. That's what you want to do. Freedom, justice, and equality. That's what that is. And we want to give that to each other. We should want to give that to each other.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
Praise
beautiful.
a lot.
I will back that I wanted to ask also, just as there's a science and a process to it when it comes to a courtship, which is very important. How important is it with the choosing of a chaperone when you're going out in courtship?
Good question.
I wanna answer. Sister can answer either of that question as well, but I want to answer also to the courtship, and this is very important that I learned this as well. As you come to uh, the social single and you meet someone, the brother, find out what city she is, and the brother, it has to be a captain. He has to report his request for courtship to either his captain in that city, in his city. So if a brother was coming from LA and he meet a sister in Chicago, that brother has to go to his captain in his city. I couldn't do it in this city. If I was here, he had to be in his city. He have to get the courtship papers, whatever. And whatever information he calls the sister captain in that city. The sister captain asks the sister, and they get involved. That's the proper procedure. And we want to get this. We want to get the form from Chicago, because it was an incident where a brother from my city here, and this is what I found out. A brother from my city here was in a social single in Charlotte. He wanted permission. He met someone, and it was in another city. The brother filled out the paperwork and sent it up there, and the regional captain said, no, first of all, that paper was wrong. Second of all, it has to be the captain in the city, because the captain in that city has to make sure that that person is qualified to be married. He has to be qualified. Is he able? Do he work? Do he got financial? Because if you're not doing nothing, I can't allow you to go into courtship. As hard as it seems, that's the process. So once that process is done, the encouragement that the captain's giving to brother, you might have to do a little bit more, then come back, or you ready right now, and then he submit that paper over to that person. So and I believe brother student minister Willie would teach everybody how to get to that point for courtship. But for far as going into that, that's the proper procedure, and we got to have brother student secretary is going to get that information. We want to be in line with Chicago with that paperwork. And then I want to say this, and then we answer that question. I want to say this, and this was a little. It wasn't a debate, but it was something that I want to share, and and this what I want to share. And brother student minister, brother Chad, and student minister, brother James, when we, we have to ask questions in courtship. We have to ask questions. Sometimes brothers, from what I'm hearing, and sisters from hearing, they can be a little intimidating in their questions. So what I'm saying is this: we have to learn our mannerism in asking questions. And those questions, you really have to be sincere when you ask questions. You got to find out, but you have to be sincere. You can't, because sometimes you have to get a person to open up. Yeah. You just meeting a person and you want to get the trust out of a person. So it should be a way that when we go through this courtship and we ask these questions, we should have the proper. Some of us don't really, some of us could be really arrogant when we ask a problem, when you ask a question. So I wanted to put that there because that's something very important. And I only can speak from the brother's point of view. All right. So it ain't no, we trying to get things right. So brother student minister, if you could, I just wanted to add that if it's proper.
I think that's a very important point, Brother Fredric.
Yes.
And that points to your people skills. I mean, if you're there, you don't want to sound like or present yourself as an interrogator.
Right.
Or policeman or a policewoman. You know what I'm saying? Where the person feels like they're about to be charged with some crime. No. And that's etiquette, that's the proper handling of people. Certainly the questions must be asked. There's no question about it, particularly when you're in a situation with someone who you're interested in, and they've had multiple relationships or marriages that were not successful.
That's right. Car wrecks.
Yeah, you certainly have to ask.
Yes.
Yeah, you certainly have to ask, well, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Why have these marriages, for want of a better word, failed?
Yes.
Because you want to make sure that that's not brought into your prospective relationship.
Right.
You want to find out. And that's the rational, because courtship is emotional to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly it's emotional to a degree. You see someone that attractive, because that's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
You look and it's physical. I mean, let's be real. The first thing you see is the physical.
Gotta be attractive.
So you're attracted or not attracted to the physical, you see. And attracted to the physical, there is a degree of emotion that attends that physical attraction.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
but
sir.
We have to rise above emotion into the thinking of God.
Yes,
so the Quran says, settle to a good choice. But how do you settle to a good choice if you're not asking the prospective courtmate certain questions that will let you know whether or not the choice is potentially a good choice?
Right.
That's right.
But again, Brother Fredric, you make an excellent point, I believe, in my humble opinion, that you don't want to come off like, you're an interrogator or you're a policeman or a policewoman. What you bring into the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
How much money you make?
How much?
Or sister, you know how to cook? And that is the question that must be asked.
Hey, that's important.
Absolutely.
But you don't act.
Absolutely.
But sister,
That's
you
important.
know how to cook, but what's up with that? Pardon
Yeah,
You're right, brother.
right.
the Brooklyn
That's
coming
right.
out of me now.
Brooklyn 991.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's right.
but you have to be pleasant.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to be
Right.
rational,
Yeah.
intellectual, non-emotional. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because good looks
Can only go so far.
and
That's
whatever it costs to get
exactly
on
right.
the bus or the train, good looks and whatever that costs will give you a train ride or a bus ride.
Yes.
Right. Right.
You see,
I
it's
have
not about
something
it's
to.
not about good looks, but that does have its place.
Well.
That does have its place.
It
But
does.
again, you make a good point, Brother Frederick.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
funny.
That's
May I
why.
add something to what you're saying, Student Minister James? Actually,
Go
what
right
Brother
ahead.
Frederick said, I was laughing because, I came in 95 and we didn't have, this wasn't here. So I say everyone who is able to take advantage of this and enjoy it, please register. Visit the website and get your ticket and enjoy yourselves because you have people as well as tools and resources to help you with what you desire to do. When my regional student captain came to me, I was very brand new. I was just learning. I had barely processed, right? And was asked for. And I was told the same thing, like you can ask questions or what have you. Brother wants to speak to you. I said, well, I didn't want to really do that. And so could I submit questions? And I think I submitted about 7 or 9 questions. And I said, depending on how many are answered a certain way, the conversation would not even take place. And so, that was what I had to go on. So I think this is such a service. As I heard our dear beloved sister, student minister, Dr. Ava Muhammad say, may Allah be pleased with her, that this is a service that the Nation of Islam offers to its members, And so I would pray that everyone take advantage of it and, much success. And thank Allah for you both and all who are with you to put this together.
Praise.
Absolutely.
Praise be to Allah.
I was arrogant, Brother G. Arrogant.
If I may,
And listen, my dear sister and Sister Angela, and no, I just want to say this as a brother student captain. I love the MGT is the best.
no question.
There's no doubt about that. The FOI is the best. But as a brother student captain, and even myself, I have to advocate for my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I do have to advocate for my sister. But when the brothers come, and I can see the sincerity, I can see it, and see. Sometimes I believe this, brother student minister James, brother student minister Chad. We men sometimes the questions it has to be asked. That's fine, but sometimes each of the person, the brother and the sister, you can bring the best, and you can have a person open up their knowledge if you present yourself like, man, you sincere, whether or not we're gonna be together or not. So sometimes, I'm just telling you, man, sometimes brothers, when they get intimidated, and they could be a good brother, if they get intimidated, they shut down. And I believe the sister, I don't know about the sisters, but I hear things, but when you get intimidated, you shut down. We shut down, like, man, man, I ain't got. But that's not the way you want to be. So that's why I say that this is a learning process. And we have to learn how, brother student minister Jane, he put it straight clear. We got to learn how to engage in the questions. Or that could really destroy, man, I don't want to never go to a social single. And you understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not trying to be, I gotta, like we say, we gotta be real about it.
I keep it real. It's like walking across when we did go to the dance. it's like walking all the way across over there and asking for the dance and saying no, and then you gotta walk all the way.
All the way back.
Listen, brothers and sisters, if I may, I want to absent myself at this time. I don't necessarily want to overdo it. I'm still in the healing process.
Man.
Sir, yes.
I had a wonderful, wonderful time with you all.
Absolutely.
Likewise.
That's right.
To see your beautiful smiling faces and to be back on the broadcast is
Right.
healing for me.
Sir.
But we
love
do
that.
things in gradients.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And we're there for the long haul,
That's
not,
right.
Right.
Absolutely.
not for the dash. So
Mhm.
may Allah bless you,
Bless you.
continue to bless you.
Likewise.
With this word.
Likewise to the
I
minister.
love you all.
Love
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 you.
you too.
I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
praise
Be
to
well. Be well.
Brother
Be
Chad,
well.
if you can announce next week, we'll be blessed to have a student minister, Dimitri. But I'll let you make a better announcement.
Praise
know.
Allah.
But I want to say to you all, may Allah continue to bless you. To our viewing and listening audience, thank you once again for your continued support.
Absolutely.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well,
Alaikum
Shalom.
salam.
praise be to Allah. Such a blessing always to have him.
That's right. And
Yeah.
you saw, brother student minister Chad, there were several comments about look at
Yes,
our brother. Yeah, happy to see him. Ooh,
It
please,
surely
yes,
was.
don't overdo it. Ooh.
That's right. Praise be to Allah. All right, so we could continue. I know I did put it out there. I was asking y'all about the importance, of that, with that process, of course, of courtship, but also the choosing of chaperones, like how important is that for those that's in courtship when going out? First of all, to make sure, of course, you do have chaperone, but also the choosing of that chaperone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's very important because the chaperones serve a very important role.
Yes.
It's not just to watch you or anything
Right,
like that,
right.
but you want to be able to engage with the chaperones, and if they have longevity in their marriages and they've gone through obstacles and overcome them, then they're going to be very beneficial with the information that they can provide to you. So you want to utilize them for that. You want to ask them questions. How, when you all went through this, and how did it happen, or what have you faced in your marriage, and how did you get over it? And so you utilize the chaperones for multiple purposes. Yes, they're gonna watch you promenading and all that stuff, but not just that. Not just that. You want to use the wisdom that the chaperones can provide to help you, however they've sustained their relationship. You take that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding, so that you can apply it to any relationship that you're blessed to have, inshallah. So,
right. Very great point, business. I appreciate that. Alhamdulillah. Praise be to Allah. That is wonderful. Y'all, we are at 8:30 time. It's flying.
Already.
Oh, wow.
It's flying. So we have about 20 more minutes before we close up, but we most definitely, from our viewing audience, we do have a question. We want y'all to most definitely continue to ask questions. We'll make sure that we get it out to our guests. This one I'm gonna put on the screen. They asked the question: will there be another one following if one is unable to attend next month?
So the short answer is yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We want this to be a continuous thing. We don't want to stop, even though initially we were just going to do one. The idea was, let's do one. Let's make it a success. God willing, the other believers will model what we did, and it'll just spread like wildfire. And then we can go visit different cities as they put on these single socials, as of course, time permits. But it's been such we've gotten such wonderful feedback from the believers, and we've gotten such so much support and encouragement to keep this going that I don't see how we could stop at this point. Like, it's got momentum. I mean, it's going. So I don't see a reason for us to stop it at this point. September, since we did the first one in August, and then we were able to successfully put one on a few months later in December. The wonderful thing about Florida is in December, it ain't cold like that. So it wasn't bad at all. Right. So but I mean, realistically, it would probably be next year if we put when we put on another one, God willing, inshallah. But I would say yes, sir. The short answer is the answer of yes, sir. We will put on another one. Date, we'll have to look at that and see how we can put it together and have enough time to put it out there, promote it, and let you all, of course, we have to consider the believers who are traveling. We want you all to have enough time to plan properly and appropriately for the event. So we want to be very considerate of that.
Praise.
And I want to say something as well. And I know sister, you know, me and sister, we real tight, but I'm going to just tell you this here. Participation. If you don't get the participation, that is needed, is very, you just don't know what our sister go through in putting these events. Sometimes I have to call her and keep her like, yo, sister, come on, we're not giving up. Like, you know, I'm not a giver up, and I'm not the one that, I'm just a helper, and I know what she's going through. So participation gives it, man, 100 people came out. You know, we got to do it. Yeah. And sister, they said the same name, beautiful picture. They just had one in Washington, DC, and they say social single. I asked somebody, how did it turn out? I wanted to know how it turned out, because the turnout what makes it keep it going. Right. You see? Okay, so I wanted to add that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their purposes. Praise be to Allah. That is wonderful. I seen earlier on the feed, we had our dear brother Mustafa Abdul Muhammad, and I noticed that he was on the flyer also. Now, what is this part? Because I've seen some different flyers with different people on it. Can you explain about, of course, we got student minister Willie that's going to be there in the workshop, but also, so I see some other faces, Could you explain about those, what else we got going on with them?
Well, we really just needed some beautiful models, and
that's what it is. Okay.
That's what that really amounted to. We have our beautiful sister and our beautiful brother, and they did volunteer to be the models for our beautiful flyer. So it all fits together perfectly.
Nice flyer.
Right. Praise well, that makes sense. Okay.
That looks good.
That makes perfect sense. Okay. I was seeing that. I said, okay, because I ain't seen no title underneath or anything. So it was just Jet Beauty up there.
This is really nice.
And that's the exclusive Light Tie Ball fundraiser. As y'all see, I like the ideal as brother student Captain Fredric was talking about, just knowing that the money that's going to be taking place for this is going for a good cause, so you can have fun. Those that's attending, able to attend, you could be married, you could be single. It's open to the public, but it's for a good cause. It's like a fundraiser, absolutely. So, we most definitely want to see the success of that. We know how important it is to have a place of our own that we can be there, have the access to 24/7, so we can do more events, more things, so may Allah bless y'all with the success of that. And anything that we do to support, we most definitely have been talking about it here. And like I said, we, by word of mouth, already heard, some of the sisters, plan on going, and inshallah, the brothers also. So hopefully we can boost that sister count up, also give it some leverage. So we most definitely do our part here. We want to plead to all of the other cities, those that's listening, whether it's a drive away or a flight away, just think about the importance of what's going on. We know that family is the cornerstone of our nation. I don't know about y'all, but I can't imagine being single after 2 years to 5 years to 6 years to 10 years and still sitting around. Opportunity is being presented. Opportunity is right there. So the only thing can stop us is ourselves. So we got to make it. We got to sacrifice. Put our pennies together, group up. Be like, okay, well, let's get a 13-passenger van and make it down there, you know?
Right.
Something, you know, let's share a hotel. Let's do something. And y'all got it. You got hotels there. You got everything.
Right.
And I wanted to say this too. Just think, if you can't come, and someone could come and you sponsor someone.
Come on.
You can sponsor someone, say, well, look, I'm married. Me and my wife is married or whatever. I want to sponsor these couple of single people in my city. So they sponsor, because and the thing, and we want to say this, Student Minister Chad and my sister. What's your name again, sister? Charlene. Charlene. We always do stuff at the last minute. We need look, I know it's hard, but money, it comes and goes. You use it for a good purpose. We want people to go ahead and register so we can know what we need to do to have everything laid out. We don't want to cut nothing short. Don't wait till the last. We're gonna be 1 month out. So we asking everybody, man, go ahead and don't anticipate, you know, like do it.
Right.
And we will, if you can call Sister Angela, you can call me or anyone on the event committee. She's on both. And you say, well, I can't come, but I have some money. I want to sponsor someone that wouldn't want to make it. And somebody right in the region that's single, you can sponsor that person, and that's just a blessing in itself.
Absolutely.
I wanted to say
that's
that.
a good point.
That's
a good point. Just do it. Make a decision.
That's right.
Right.
Wonderful.
That's very beautiful, Brother Fredric. I hadn't thought about that, but that's really the mindset of wanting for your brother and sisters what you want for yourself. So that's a very beautiful point.
Absolutely.
Sponsor somebody.
That's right. Now I see Student Minister Willie, of course, going to be in. We talked about that.
Wonderful, brother.
You know, beautiful spirit. You know, he loved it. You know, I know he's a fan of Jacksonville. Jacksonville a fan of him, of being there. Yes. When it comes to student ministers, can you talk about that the role that they can help in playing as far as with people when they are in courtship also? Because we know that sometimes, and you know, they quick to go to the student ministers when being married and going through something. But sometimes how we talk about how, you know, those that go around, not just student captains, you know, and try the next thing you know, you look around and see what someone is in courtship. Next thing you know, they married, and you be like, well, I ain't, you know. But also that process, like how can student ministers, you know, help out in those that's in courtship? And we talking about and giving advice, counsel, anything like that. Could we talk about how important that is, that role?
Well, you know, I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna speak from a military standard, and then I don't know how they minister would interact in a sister, you know, but I can say this, that a minister plays a key role because he gives spiritual guidance. You know, he's connected to the Messiah. So any guidance that's coming from the minister, it's like an icing on the cake. You see what I'm saying? That's why you have a student minister doing the whole, you know, doing the
sermon?
What you call it? The seminar.
Yes,
it's so important that even if a minister is married and he comes and he be a chaperone with him and his wife, that's a blessing in itself. You know, that's like a hat off, and just offering your knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That is a blessing itself because of the spiritual guidance that the minister has. You see what I'm saying? That's who we go to for guidance, our minister. So I
Right.
want the Sister Angela.
Only thing I just want to add on is, and the ministers are in a unique position as well, because typically they know the believers. So they are in a unique position to be able to offer guidance based off of how they relate to the believers. They know you. So, and I think, seeking out, when you're in a courtship, seeking out the counseling
Right.
before
Right. Right.
is paramount. That's
Yes.
important. And we think typically we get into counseling after the marriage,
Right.
but
Right.
the pre-courtship counseling is just as important. And so I don't want us to gloss over that as though it's not effective or it's not an important something to be discussed with your courtship partner, to make arrangements to speak to the student minister, get that guidance, and any knowledge that they can share, wisdom, advice, encouragement, questions that you may have, concerns that you may have, seek all the everything that you can get, because we want this to be a success. So that's all I would add on to you, Brother Fredric.
Praise be to Allah. That is wonderful. Absolutely. To get that counsel, soak it up.
Yes.
Especially even those that have been married for a while. I think that's very important too, to see the ups and downs. That it's a process. I mean, marriage is
absolutely.
It's not a sheet of paper. It's not once you say I do. I compare it to how sometimes in the Nation of Islam we go through. We hear that lecture, we raise our hand. See, raising my hand, it's like saying, okay, I'm committed to that. That's the courtship right there. Like you ready. Like I believe this to be the truth and good, but I believe it. I want to be it. But then you go through orientation.
Right.
You get to that letter. That letter is hard. You're like, well, I don't tore up 20, letters.
That's about right.
and then once you get that completed, you think you got to be like, no, it's not it yet. You got to recite and you got to know this word for word. And once you do that, you think, oh man, I done made it in the nation. Oh no, the work is now just beginning, and that's how it is. It's like once you say I do, okay, now, okay, the real work comes.
That's right.
Keeping that marriage, to be able to say now we're 5 years in it, we're 10 years in it. Now, you know what? We're going to our 25th anniversary, keeping that momentum. And, it's you signing up for life. And it's not, when you look at life, it's not too many things that you sign up for life with, and it's like the same relationship with our God. We don't plan on being, I'm gonna try this about 10 more years, then I'm gonna try something new. You don't move on like that. It's not like a car, a house, or something like, I want to change neighborhoods. We're in here for it's a forever thing. So it's very important, that foundation, the process. So, and I applaud y'all once again for what's going on, and think that we need more of it in our nation. In any way we can be supportive, we most definitely plan on doing so.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Anything else, Sister Charlene, at this time? Do you have anything else? Anything come to mind?
One of the things is, what has been the ultimate challenge? I know you have the registration piece in terms of too many of the brothers at this time, but if you look back over the two that have occurred, the biggest challenge and the biggest reward.
Come on.
Our greatest, if you will.
Okay, so the biggest challenge, I would say the biggest challenge is participation.
Okay.
That's a hurdle. I mean, it's not that, I have a lot of people contacting me expressing interest, and, I'm getting words, but it's really the participation aspect of the whole event. Okay. And I know there's a lot of things that are factored in as to why people are kind of reluctant to partake in the single social. But like I said, I mean, even if you're not actively seeking a courtship right now, you're still doing some work on yourself. You're healing. You know, you're getting in tune with yourself. You're identifying those things that you know you may want to work on in different areas of your life. It's still okay to come. You know, if you are actively seeking a courtship, we need you here. If you're currently in a courtship, you can come too. You know, if you're just a believer and you want to hang out in Jacksonville, y'all just want to hang out with us in Jacksonville.
Thank you.
I like to add something to that too, and because you know I've been Allah always say Allah bless me to put on a lot of events.
Yes, sir.
The most challenging thing is the support. We need other people to help support, like, you know, the ministers, the captains. People listen to leadership.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, this is a good thing. You know, sometimes that support helps. Like student brother Minister Willie, he said, Brother Fredric, this is how, look, he said, get all the single brothers together and have them on a call, and I want to talk to them to tell them why they should come.
That's right.
You know, and that's the support. You know, I call every captain, everybody I know, every brother. I called student ministers, and I told them, I said, look, man, this is what we doing. Sometimes it's you get it and you put it on the burner, and we procrastinate a lot, and we should never procrastinate. It's just like you say, I'm getting ready. We know that we wait. We got all the dates to Savior's Day. We know now. They say there's gonna be this day and everything. So what we gonna do? We're gonna continue to wait and wait and wait. The next thing you know, the plane ticket $700.
Yep.
We procrastinate.
Come on, bro.
You see what I'm saying? So that's one point. Procrastination and the support. That's that support. We need the support from all the leaderships. If you feel that you don't want to get married and you in leadership, fine. Tell somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop. Tell somebody else to come.
That's
Inspire other people to come, and that participation would just it would be joyful. And I just say, close on and just know, every time we put on the event like Savior's Day and everything, when we go, you know you're gonna have a good time.
That's true.
You know you're gonna have a good time. And they're gonna promote, and they're gonna promote. You're gonna hear them promoting tickets, promote. That's how you get it done.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, my sister. Promotion.
Thank you.
Praise be
Wow.
to wonderful.
We need more promotion. Okay.
That's right. We got y'all right. That's the petition right there. So everybody tuning in, please do so. At this time, we're going to get ready as we come to a close. We most definitely want to give y'all the floor for any closing remarks where y'all could tell them once again how to go about it. Anything that you want to emphasize about what's going to be going on. We want to extend this opportunity, y'all. Any closing remarks? We'll start with you, Sister Angela, at this time.
Yes, sir. So just again, encouraging everyone to go ahead and take that leap of faith. You know, come and be with your brothers and sisters here in Jacksonville. Have a wonderful time with us. We do have a deadline on registrations, which would be September the 13th. So we're asking all of the believers to go ahead, and if you want to make that move, go ahead and do it now. And you can visit our website at jackssinglesocial.com to register. We have our itinerary is laid out there. You know, all of the events that we're going to, inshallah, partake in. Everything is listed. We are planning a very fun-filled, informative, interactive, bonding Believers Weekend for you all, and we want you all to be a part of it. So please just consider it, register, make that move. And if you have any questions, then you can reach out to me or anyone who's a part of our staff, Brother Fredric as well, and just let us know.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, dear sister.
Very well.
Brother Fredric, any closing remarks?
Yeah, I just want to say, my dear brothers and sisters, we on the dance, we didn't put no date on the
No.
closing, man. We gonna try to run this all the way down because this is a fundraiser, and we
Right.
need you to come and help us because we feel we in the seventh region. In the seventh region, man, I love Tampa,
Mm-hmm.
I love Miami,
Love you. Yes,
Fort
sir.
Lauderdale.
That's right.
And Jacksonville, I'm just gonna tell you real why we want to push for our building, and that's why we doing this, is that we got over 300 and something thousand black people in Jacksonville. We got so much black people in here. And we want to get a building that at least we can get 200-300 people to come and hear the teachings. And it shouldn't be no reason why Jacksonville or Tampa or anyone could be big as Chicago or big as New York. And the only way we could be big as New York is we just get something for the people to come and hear this message. That's the thing, man. We pushing. And then we just want you to call me if you got any questions on however you want to participate. Give me a call. I'm on Facebook. Hit me up, man. I'm easy to get. I'm like they say, I'm mad easy to get. You know what I'm saying? So you call me up and we'll help you. We'll help you get through everything that you need to get through. So that's all I got to say.
Praise be to
You
Allah.
want? Yes, sir. We couldn't hear you, Brother Chad, Brother Minister.
All right, I'll apologize, family. Yes,
Okay.
Brother James. Okay, thank you. Once again, we just want to thank our listening audience for tuning in. We want to encourage everybody. Let's make it out. We thank y'all, family. May Allah bless y'all with success. At this time, we're going to get ready to go into our commercials so we can end that on time.
That's right.
Thank you once again. For those that's tuning in, we also would like to ask your support. It's always appreciative that you're paying attention. But if you also can pay and help out as far as to keep the airways going, that we can have more remarkable guests as we had on tonight. And the way that you can help us is by donating to Closing the Gap broadcast via PayPal, as you see scrolling across at the bottom of our screen, at jkingdom1 at AOL.com, or you can cash app at $CTG broadcast, and Zelle also at Closing the Gap broadcast at gmail.com. Once again, you see it scrolling. Donate via PayPal at jkingdom1 at AOL.com, or Cash App at $CTG broadcast, and Zelle at Closing the Gap broadcast at gmail.com. We thank you. Any amount is very, very helpful. At this time, we're going to go into the announcements. We have the final call. We want to encourage everyone. Please pick up a final call, the latest edition. You go to finalcall.com. Also, you can see the brothers on the street. You can go to finalcalldigital.com to pick up and also to subscribe so you can get it coming. As you see the brothers out there on the streets, make sure you pick up your copy, or our sisters, whoever you see, with a bow tie garment, make sure you get a copy, family. We also want you to go to store.finalcall.com where you can get any of the latest DVDs, the books of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so we can help to build our library at store.finalcall.com. All right. And then also, if you haven't downloaded the app, you way late. Go to finalcallradio.com. You can also download that app so you can hear 24/7 lectures from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and also different songs from his music project, the Bot Set, Let's Change the World. Praise be to Allah. And also want to let everybody know, whether it's your first, second, or third time, however you've been coming on the show, if you heard and believe what you heard to be the truth, there's something that is good for our people, and you want to learn more about the Nation of Islam, Please join us at www.noi.org/join. And that way someone will get back in touch with you and you can start the orientation process as you fill out this digital form that was on the screen. Also, family, we want to promote, if you're in the area of the Tampa Bay area, whether you're in Clearwater, Sarasota, Bradenton, we want to invite you out to Muhammad Mosque number 47 tomorrow to hear the life-giving teachings delivered by myself, Brother Chad Muhammad. That's a lecture that is called Life. What are we doing with God's time? So please join us at Muhammad Mosque number 47. That's at 5508 North 50th Street, Tampa, Florida. All right. And if by chance you're not able to make it out in Tampa, please go on NOI.org and you can listen to the life-giving teachers from our national headquarters, from the student minister up under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, whoever will be speaking tomorrow. Report to your nearest mosque, your nearest study group. Let's make sure we have that balance and give God some time. We thank you, family, for those that are tuned in and stayed with us. We ask that you would share this message. We ask that you would support Jacksonville. Go to www.jax, as you see on the screen, singlesocial.com to register for the Single Social. May Allah continue to bless us all. Let's keep each other in our prayers, and most of all, the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan and the Farrakhan family in our prayers. As we leave you with the greeting words of peace and of paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
Alaikum salam.
Sir.
Praise be to Allah.